Hello everyone, and welcome to all of you who are watching this live this afternoon. And if you're watching later on the replay, then hello to you as well. I'm David Miles, and I'm on a mission to help mortgage brokers and financial advisors to generate a consistent flow of leads so as they never again have to stress about where their next client is coming from. Now, I know that one of the things which often stops you guys from being able to develop your own lead generation systems is simply a lack of time to work on marketing strategy or work on any of the other things that would count as working on your business rather than in it. And so today I'm going to share with you 6 tools that I use to save time in my own business, and that's to save time both generally and specifically around marketing kind of activities as well. Now, some of these tools are 100% free. Some of them have a cost attached to them, albeit a small cost, and then there are some where they are free up to a certain point, and if you want to do extra things with them, then there's a charge. I'll put details of all of these tools into a PDF with links to all of them, and I'll put a link to that PDF into the comments of this live stream. So if you're watching it now, you can get that, and it will also be there for any of you watching it on the replay as well. Just in the interest of transparency, some of the links in there are affiliate links. So if you do click through and buy something through one of those links, I will get a small commission from that, but that doesn't affect how much you pay. And the key thing to say is I only recommend tools that I actually think are worth having, and not based on whether or not they pay any kind of affiliate fee or anything like that. If, as usual thing, as we go through, if you've got any questions or any comments, then do post them, and I'll try and keep an eye on that for phone separately here, so I can try and keep an eye on the comments as we go through as well. If you're watching on the replay, then you can put comments and questions in there as well, and I'll, as usual, keep an eye on that for the next few days and jump in and pick up on anything that needs a response. So I've got, as I said, 6 tools to show you, and what I'm going to turn on screen share so as you can actually see them on the screen, hopefully, as I go through and do it. Right, okay. So the first one on my list is a tool called Loom, L-O-O-M. And what Loom is a really handy little tool utility for creating online videos. And those can be videos either just of using your webcam to do a video of you talking to the camera to do it like a video message, or what it's more commonly used for is to do a screen recording where you can record your screen and have an image of you in a circle in one of the corners. So like you can see in this demo they've got running here, this would be a video of this person showing herself here on the camera, and then recording of her screen there. And the reason I think this is a really useful time-saving tool is it's something I've started using a lot more in the last sort of 6 to 12 months. It's often much quicker. If someone sends you an email and asks you a question, or wants your opinion on something, it's often a lot quicker to just record a 2 or 3 minute video message than it is to start thinking about the content of an email and typing and writing that email back to them. It's also often a lot quicker for the person who's receiving it to watch and understand what you're saying in a video message than it is to plow through a lengthy email, particularly if you're trying to explain something where it's useful to be able to actually illustrate things on screen. So in my kind of work, I obviously use it a lot for things like, I don't know, if someone's got a question about how to do something in their Google Ads account, rather than type out a 3-paragraph email describing all the steps, I can just open the Google Ads account, either their one or my one on screen, enable Loom, just click a button in my browser toolbar and record it saying, got your message, you asked me this is how you do it in Google Ads, you go here, you click this, you click that, done, and send them that. And it's so much easier for them to understand. Now, in the financial services world, you guys could do that with things, when a client asks you a question, or suppose you're sending a client, I don't know, a mortgage illustration, rather than have to explain everything that's in there, you could just have the PDF of the mortgage illustration on screen and just scroll through and talk about the main points in there, and use your mouse to highlight bits that you're talking about and whatever. or you know, if you're trying to explain the choice of a couple of different quotes, or you know, if a client has sent you a copy of I don't know, their valuation report and they've got questions on it, you can refer to it on screen when you go back to them. The beauty of it is it saves you a load of time, but also when people receive these videos, they generally prefer receiving that to receiving a lengthy email. So you score extra points with the client and you save yourselves time. So that's a win-win. Paul's just asked a question. He said, do you need a platform to host videos with Loom? No, you don't. So as part of your Loom membership plan, whatever, you get a certain amount of storage space with it. So every time you create the video, it automatically saves to the cloud within the Loom website. And then you get a link that you can send to the recipient saying, I made you this video message, click here to view it, and you just send them a link. Loom is a completely free tool. I do actually have the paid version of it, which I think costs me something huge, like $10 a month. Now, I have to be honest, I forget exactly why I upgraded to the paid one. I think it was because it allows you to do slightly higher quality video, lets you do high definition video, which for some of the stuff I'm doing where I'm trying to, you know, go into things like analytics accounts or Google Ads accounts, it's just sometimes nicer to have that slightly higher quality image. But to be honest, you know, if you could do most of what you probably need to do with it with the free version. So it really is dead simple. There's no uploading videos at the end, Paul, to YouTube or anything like that. Although, you know, you can actually take the videos and put them on other platforms if you want to. Right, so the next one I wanted to show you, again, this is kind of continuing a little bit on the video theme, or one aspect of this tool continues on the video theme. And that's a tool called rev.com, R-E-V. Now, Rev, as you can see there on the screen, is a tool for doing transcriptions and for doing captioning, yeah, for subtitling videos. Now, the reason, Craig's just put a comment on about Loom. He's reminded me of one of the differences. So the free version apparently only gives you 5-minute video lengths. That, I know they have revamped their plans recently, so that might be a newish restriction because I don't recall that from when I was on free. But to be honest, most of the videos that I make for people are 2 or 3 minutes long. So, you know, 5 minutes, you can convey quite a lot of info in 5 minutes. But I would say actually, even if you do go for the paid version at $10, that's money well spent in terms of the time it saves you. Anyway, back to rev.com. So one of my pet hates is when you're watching a video on social media, like say on LinkedIn, you're scrolling through the feed and you see someone's put a video on there, but they haven't put subtitles on it. And the reason that's really annoying is not because I'm hard of hearing or anything, but because I often am looking at social media in an environment where I can't turn the sound on or don't want to turn the sound on. You know, so I might be, well, not so much these days, but back in the day, I might have been on the train or out in a cafe or something like that, and I don't want to necessarily have to turn the sound on. So your videos on social media will get much more engagement and will get you know, get seen and read by far more people if you have subtitles on them. Now with Facebook and with YouTube, they have automatic captioning on there, but one of the big weaknesses with LinkedIn at the moment is they don't automatically provide captioning or subtitling for the videos that you upload. And I see this quite a lot, that there's a lot of people, there's a lot of mortgage brokers and a lot of IFAs who are doing really good, making really good effort to post videos on LinkedIn. You know, often it's just them talking to camera and explaining some development in the industry or something like that. But I never get to see or hear what the content is because I'm not someone where I can turn the sound on. So it's well worth just spending a little bit of extra time getting subtitles added to the videos. It's really easy to do. You just need a subtitle file with the text of your video in it, and you upload that to LinkedIn at the same time as you publish your video. But of course, to create the subtitles yourself is time consuming and tedious and whatever. And that's where something like Rev comes in, because for, you can see the price there, for $1.25 per minute, so that's £1 or less per minute, they will take your video, they will create the subtitle file and send it back to you. And, you know, for a typical kind of length video you'd be putting on social media or putting on LinkedIn, like, you know, 3 or 4 minute video, 2 or 3 minute, it's going to cost you £2 or £3 to get it done. And they turn it around within a few hours. So for that little amount of money, rather than you spending the time doing it yourself, for that very small investment, you could actually have your video get far more reach and far more engagement, because people won't be having to listen to it. They can actually just watch the whole thing on screen. So I would highly recommend that if you haven't tried it. I've also found actually the quality of what comes back is really good. I use them quite a lot, and it's very rare that I have to make any corrections. I would say the bulk of the corrections I have had to make on them are basically correcting American spelling into English. But, you know, whilst that's a little bit annoying, it doesn't take that long. So that's the second one. Now, the third one I want to talk about, some of you will have heard me rave about this particular tool before. It's actually a suite of tools called Thrive Themes. Okay, now, if you Thrive Themes is a selection or a collection of plugins for people who've got WordPress websites, and they allow you to do a lot of things which are designed to improve the conversion rate of your website. So the conversion rate of your website is a measurement of all the people who come to your website, how many of them take the desired action, like submitting a mortgage inquiry or whatever your goal is. And a lot of the things that are known to be best practice in conversion rate optimization, like having clear call to action, or doing things like having countdown timers on things, or trying out different versions of pages and split testing them. What Thrive Themes does is it provides tools that make doing all those things really, really easy. The two biggest things that I use it for are for actually building web pages and building landing pages. It's got a fantastic drag and drop editor where you can just take different elements and drag and drop them onto your page and build up an entire landing page or an entire website, even if you don't have any web design skills. And I can say that because I have no web design skills, and I build loads of web pages and websites using Thrive. So that gives you an indication of how intuitive it is, the fact that someone like me with no design skills can do it. So to give you an example, let me just try and hang on. My Zoom toolbar has just got in the way of what I'm trying to do. Right. So this landing page that I've built over the last couple of days for my new membership program, I did that with Thrive Themes, or the Thrive Architect component in Thrive Themes. And you literally can start with a blank page or start with a template, and you can go to a toolbar and say, right, I want some text. So you drag a text block in and you type the text in. Then you can say, I want a video. You drag the video element across and you tell it the link to where your video sits on YouTube or Vimeo or whatever. You can drag in ready-made buttons, timers. You can easily split things into columns. You can put images in. So all of this kind of thing, it's got lots of ready-made icons and things in it. So, there's a whole collection of things like that. It's got blocks that will automatically pull in testimonials for you from a database of testimonials, and automatically, put the right person's photo with them and everything. All these kind of blocks are again made from predefined elements within it. So it really does make the whole process really, really easy. And the and as well as landing pages, if you just look at my whole website, all of that was built using Thrive. So again, this kind of thing here, this is a ready-made block where you can just pull this in and fill in the text and fill in the icons for each one. It lets you, it's got all sorts of styled lists and things like that. And so on and so on. So that, I think, is a really, really worthwhile tool to have. The other thing it's really, really good for is the Thrive Leads component of it. Is really good for helping you build a mailing list. And as you'll know, if you've been on some of my previous Facebook Lives, or those of you who've done my training courses online and things like that, I'm a really big believer in having a mailing list. I think having a mailing list is really, really important. It's a really great way of building that kind of predictable pipeline of future clients. And the Thrive Leads component of Thrive Themes, that allows you to have pop-up forms that offer people lead magnets and downloadable guides and things in return for giving their name and email address. It links in with your email system like ActiveCampaign or ConvertKit or whatever, and automatically puts the people into there. So all of these components, you can buy these individually for, I think it's about £69 each. You can buy these for as a one-off. Or if you're going to want to have more than a couple of them, which you probably will, then you can go for the Thrive membership, which is something like $29 a month or something like that. It's about £200 a year, basically. And that gets you access to all of them and all the ongoing updates and support and everything. So if you've got a WordPress website and you have any kind of intention or desire to start building your own landing pages, then I would strongly recommend looking at that. Those of you, by the way, who've joined the Predictable Pipeline program, you'll find that within the online course area of that, there's a whole load of lessons on actually how to use Thrive Architect and Thrive Themes to build those kind of landing pages as well. And they've also, Thrive themselves, got their whole university that's got lots of stuff on this as well. So highly recommend that one. Right, that's number 3. So a quick look at the comments. No, nothing else coming in there. Right. So the next one is this one here, Vidnami. This used to be called Content Samurai, because some of you may know it under that name. And again, this is another one where if you're looking to do video creation, particularly for sort of social media, Vidnami is a really, really big time saver. So I think most people are aware that, you know, video in social media tends to get more engagement than written content because, you know, it's just more appealing on the eye. It's easier for a lot of people to consume because it requires less attention span, blah, blah, blah. But of course, creating videos can be quite time consuming. What Vidnami does, it gives you a really quick and easy way to create a professional looking video without spending days and days on it, or, you know, having to hire lots of professional equipment or video production facilities or anything like that. And one of the best ways to use it is you can take an article that you've written, you know, a short blog article. So it's a good way of repurposing existing content as well. I'm a big fan of that. You know, if you've created a piece of content, the more different ways you can use it and get it out there, you know, the better use that is of your time. So it lets you do things like upload a short article, and I'm going to show you an example here. So this is one that I did with it a while ago, and I'm just going to click play on. There is sound in the background. There is actually me narrating what you're seeing on the screen, but obviously I've muted that so as you don't get 2 of me talking at the same time. But basically, what I did to create this video was just uploaded the text that is appearing in the captions. You know, so I uploaded all this text here. And the software automatically takes that article, that content, and inserts stock video footage that matches it. So it's actually clever enough to find sort of the key words, like there it's highlighted the word email or their phone call, and it automatically pulls in video footage of someone making a phone call or someone looking at emails on their phone or whatever. Obviously, it doesn't always get it spot on, but I would say it gets it about 95% of the way there. And if it pulls in a video clip which isn't appropriate to the content you're actually doing, you can always go in and manually edit stuff. And then once it's finished the video, you can either use it as is, just with background music or whatever, or you can, as I did with this one, you can record your own voiceover to go with it as well. So, you know, that's if you're looking to do, if the thing that stopped you doing video on social media so far is not having the time or, you know, the equipment or the skill set, or whatever, to create this kind of stuff, this is a massive, massive time saver. Again, when I've posted this kind of thing on LinkedIn or whatever, it's, you know, it gets far more views a lot of the time than if I'd taken the same thing and just put it up as an article. Right, number 5 on this. Is it number 5? Yes, it is number 5. Is this tool here, ZUMA. Now, this is a really useful tool. It's probably in terms of value for money, the best one in this list, because it does a hell of a lot of stuff. And as of about 4 months ago, they made it totally free. You know, it used to have a monthly subscription, but they initially suspended the monthly subscription as a temporary measure near the start of the first lockdown, and then back in the summer they decided just to make it totally free for life, and they've changed their the way they monetize it and whatever. But for end users like you, it is now totally free. They now make their money from agencies advertising on their platform. So what ZUMA does is, if you're using any of the major pay-per-click advertising platforms, so Google Ads, Facebook Ads, or Microsoft Ads, ZUMA will do 2 things really. It will it will monitor your advertising accounts. It will monitor, for example, your Google Ads account, and it will make suggestions for improvements that you could make. So if, for example, it finds that one of your keywords is spending a lot of money but not generating you any leads, it will recommend that you reduce the bids on that keyword or pause it altogether. Or if it finds that you've got 3 different adverts running and one of them is attracting significantly more clicks than the others, it will recommend that you pause the ones that aren't performing so well, and and keep running the winner, or create another one to try and beat the winner. And a little while ago I wrote a whole review actually about ZUMA, so you can find this on the blog if you want more details. But somewhere in here is screenshot that shows you, so it gives you lots of stats about how your campaigns are performing. But down here we are, identifying opportunities. So like down here, you see it will show you where particular things are not performing well, or make suggestions. And if you like a particular suggestion when it's making, you can just click the button and it will automatically implement that suggestion for you into your account. As I say, it does this for Google Ads, for Microsoft Ads, and for Facebook as well. The other thing it does is, if you don't want to have it running all the time and giving suggestions, it will do a one-off audit or performance report. So you can, again, connect it to your Microsoft, Google, or Facebook advertising account, run a performance report, and it will grade all the different things in your account as red, amber, or green to show you where there's opportunities to make improvements, or where you're losing money unnecessarily, and highlights the things that you're doing well and the things you're not doing well. So any of you who are currently using any of those platforms, Facebook, Google, or Microsoft, to run paid ads, I would recommend check out the review there, ppcmachine.co.uk/adzuma-review. That'll give you all the details. But as I say, it's completely free tool, so you might as well install it. If it only gives you one useful insight, then given that it costs nothing, it's more than paid for itself, isn't it? So that's the 5th one. And then the final one, this is one I almost wasn't going to put this one in my list, because I thought, oh, everyone's heard of this one. And then in the last few days, I was talking to someone who hadn't ever heard of it. So I thought, okay, fine, I'll put it in just in case there are others who've not heard of it. So number 6 on my list is Canva. So Canva is a graphic design tool. And again, it's a very useful thing for helping you save time creating posts for social media. Because although Canva can be used to design any kind of graphical things, posters, cards, whatever, it's particularly useful when it comes to doing social media posts, because as you can see here, they've got a lot of predefined templates that are all in the correct sizes for things like an Instagram post, or or a Facebook banner, or whatever, and they've got lots of different templates already in there. So if you wanted to if you'd wanted to do like a social media post with a Halloween theme, they'll have those there. And obviously there'll be ones coming up for Christmas and all that kind of stuff. So like the Facebook banners that I do for these live streams, you would have seen at the beginning of this as the holding screen. Those kinds of things are done in Canva. And again, repeat what I said earlier on, I am in no way a graphic designer, but even for me, it takes about 5 or 10 minutes to create something like that. And because say they're already correctly sized for the platform that you want to use. Canva is a free tool. Again, it has paid upgrades, but even with the free level, you get lots of different templates. You get lots of stock imagery and icons and shapes and things that you can use in your designs. And what I actually think is the best thing about it is, obviously, a lot of the sort of gold standard when it comes to graphic design is something like Adobe Photoshop. But the thing with something like Photoshop is, even if you are willing to pay the money that it costs to get Photoshop, something like that actually has far too many features for the average person. So for the likes of you and me, who just want to create something to use in a social media post, or want to create a diagram to put in a blog post, or or something like that, for those kind of things, something like Photoshop is just overkill. So you spend longer trying to learn how to use the thing than you do actually producing the design that you're trying to come up with. Whereas the beauty of something like Canva is because it is deliberately stripped down to just the bare essentials. It means you don't waste hours, weeks, months trying to learn how to use it. You can actually just get straight in, and within a few minutes you can knock out the the design that you want to come up with. So again, there's a few things there that I've deliberately included because they're sort of geared towards the idea of overcoming those barriers that stop people exploring social media marketing, because very often the reasons people don't do that is the time it takes, or I haven't got the skills, I haven't got the equipment, I'm not a designer, I'm not a videographer, whatever. So hence I've deliberately included 2 or 3 tools in this list which address those particular issues. So that's it. That's my list of 6 tools. Like I said, we will put a link to a document with all of those in the comments as soon as I'm done here. So I hope you found that useful. As I say, it's a bit of a different format this week. It's more of a just kind of a tour around things. But I know this is the kind of thing where it's very easy for me to think, oh, everyone knows about those tools, but hopefully from past experience, there'll be at least one in that list where you're going, wow, I didn't know that existed, and that's going to be really, really useful for me and be a big time saver. And the key thing is, if you do use one of these and you do save time, then use it for, use that saved time to do something around working on your business to grow it, because ultimately, that's what I want to help you guys do, is grow your businesses and get systems in place that are generating you leads, creating that predictable pipeline of future business. So hopefully tools like this will help you free up the time to do that kind of thing. If you found this one useful and you want me to do, I had my biggest challenge with this Facebook Live was deciding which 6 tools to show you, because there were loads more I could have done. So if you like this kind of thing, put something in the comments or ping me an email, because I'm quite happy to do another one of these, looking at another 6 tools at some point in the future. So hope you found that useful. So if you've got any questions, or if you've got any suggestions of tools that I didn't feature here which you think are the absolute dogs whatnots, then put those in the comments as well. Share those for other people as well. Other than that, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again in a couple of weeks. Bye now.